Hey guys, so things are getting back into some kind of order, but who did you want to win? Okay, let me just put some. That's a question I think that a lot of people are being asked. My answer for me personally is like I don't know enough about politics to even have like an opinion. So I find it sometimes a little strange to just try to kind of justify an opinion when you're not especially like an expert in that. So in a way, for me, I'm not really interested in politics, and I don't have enough information. I don't have enough knowledge to even take a position. Now, uh, on the other side, what I like to think is that. Uh, there are things that we can control, there are things that we cannot control. And what's happening on a political level, at that level, is something I cannot really control. But what I can do is really focus on what I can control. And what I can control is how much I can really help my client. So this is where I really want to put a lot of my efforts. So yeah, politics. I'm definitely not the right person to ask any question. But when it comes to your client, I would say that it's important for me to really add value. So what was I been doing lately? As I've already mentioned, there've been quite a lot of different projects I was working on, and things are slowly starting to get in place. Now, what is really interesting is that I'm focusing more and more on adding value. You know, that's a sentence from a Zig Ziglar. You can get whatever you want as long as you help enough people to get what they want. And that's something that I'm really trying to put in action. That was, I would say, more my nature. My nature is really I like helping. And when I say my nature, it's not just positive because I think that they also come with helping as a kind of because of your limiting beliefs regarding money that you deserve, and that kind of thing. So when I say I like to help, I don't see that as a especially as a positive thing, a positive thing. But yeah, I would say this from the someone outside, from the outsider. I come across as someone that really wants to help. Okay, um, and but now I'm reading that way more deliberately, and the kind of thing that I've been doing more and more in the last 6, 7 months is to give a lot of training also, not just trying to serve a company, but also companies with budget, but also training for individuals who get less of budget, but also deserve to get help. Now, those training have been going really, really well, really, really well. I'm really happy with that, and I'm gonna carry on with that in that direction. The training that I'm giving at the moment is really about your personal branding, your personal branding using different platforms. Now, you got different platform that can be utilized, okay, especially when it comes to social media. You know, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok now. You got so many things, email marketing, and all those things. I struggle to really believe that you can be an expert in all of those platforms. So for me, the idea has been at some point I took the decision to really focus on one platform, and the platform I decided to focus is really LinkedIn. I think that LinkedIn is really uh, certainly for me. Oh, let me go that the most powerful platform, hands down. Okay, so because I don't believe that you can really become an expert in everything. Can you still see me? Yeah. Because I don't believe that you can become an expert in everything. I decided actually to just focus on LinkedIn, and I would say that the result has been really impressive. So I would recommend to anyone to just focus on one platform at a time. That doesn't mean that you cannot really have a look to other platforms, but I would encourage you, especially if you don't have a big budget, to really focus on one platform at a time. Now, how do you choose the platform? different platform got different features, has different benefits. So the platform that you choose, as I've mentioned often, over and over, is not really based on what you like. It's really based on what your ideal clients like. Okay, so if your ideal client, if you like Facebook, but your ideal client is let's say on an Instagram, there's no reason in a way to just focus on a Facebook. What you would do, that would be a way to focus on an Instagram. So the quick answer is really to choose a platform that really resonates with your ideal client. Okay, so that would be my generic answer. Now, what I would say in terms of a return on investment, and when I say return on investment, most of the time that investment that will be money. Okay, so for Facebook, Instagram, you cannot really get result if you don't pay. But what I would say is that investment is money most of the time, but it's also time. And in terms of a return of an investment, money and time, the winning platform for me would be, I would say, would be LinkedIn. Okay, so that's the reason for me. I focus on LinkedIn, and I would encourage anyone to just start to at least focus on LinkedIn, especially if you got a small budget. I would say focus on LinkedIn. It's a platform where you're going to be able to quite quickly get more organic reach. You're going to be quickly be able to establish your authority, your leadership there. And then what I will encourage you to do, once you've done that, because you can get that status much quicker than on any other platform, this is where you can actually decide to also utilize another platform. Okay, so the answer, what platform to choose, my answer is always the same. Choose the platform based on your ideal client. Wherever your ideal client spend most time, this is where you're going to put your effort. But there's a caveat there. And the caveat for me is that in terms of a return on investment, money and time, LinkedIn is going to be really, really powerful. So if you can work on the kind of a long-term game, I would still encourage you to have a LinkedIn as a platform you're going to focus on still. Okay. So that's how I will decide the platform to choose. Now, what have I been able? What have I been doing in that kind of a concept of helping as many people as I can to reach the goal? I've been doing a lot of training. Now, when it comes to training, I've received so many really beautiful testimonials. I share one of them, I think, a few days ago. Now, when it comes to training, what has been really interesting for me to notice is that obviously we all know that the information is powerful only if it's applied. And what I've seen some of the students, the participants, really embracing the concept and really applying that and getting quite quickly a lot of results. But what I can also see is that for some people, once the training is finished, it's difficult for them to keep the momentum. And so that really makes me. But anyway, anytime that you can see, and that's the way I'm encouraging anyone to see, is that anytime that you can see some kind of a challenge for your client, that's actually a business opportunity. You know, for me, the goal for me is really to see positive impact on my client business. So my work in itself is not finished until I can see that impact, that positive impact. Sometimes that positive impact is gonna be you're gonna reach maybe 100% of efficiency with the service that you offer. But what I notice more and more is that's never the case. And actually, that's in a way a good thing because that also give you other business opportunities. I'm going to give you an example. So I started to do those training, okay, and I noticed that some people had great results, and other people was in a way not lagging, but was feeling challenged because after the training is finished, I make a point to still be in contact with those clients, to those participants, to see to reach out to them to see how they are doing. And but sometimes I do that directly to them, or I'm going to contact them, ask them how is going. But most of the time, because I'm working on helping them with utilizing social media in a really efficient way, especially LinkedIn. But I would just go on the account. I'll go on the account and I will actually check, what kind of activity that they have, how much they post. And that's something that I would do even if I was, in a way, training on another platform, let's say Facebook or Instagram. So you got some kind of a KPI that are, that can utilize, as a benchmark. So I will use that, and by looking at the activity, I will be able to guess what kind of result they have. So I will go on the account, check, and I will be able to see sometimes that actually they are not as active as they were during the training, and actually that really allowed me to actually develop like another program, and that's great. So because once again, it's really about helping your client to get the result that you want them to get. Okay, not the result that you want them to get, but the result they wanted to achieve, and that you committed to help them to achieve. Obviously, there's some time of a limitation there. There's only so much you can do for a client, but until you get to that limitation, I would say that's really a kind of a commitment, personal duty to do everything that you can to get there. And by everything that you can, you also have a lot of business opportunities. So we had the training, and when I think about it, this is how actually I create those three trainings. Initially there was just one training that I created, and the training that I created was for them for people to have people to have like a better idea of how to run their marketing sales strategy, how to establish the marketing sales strategy, and then how to implement that. And that was a really good training. That was 6 weeks training, and with the most important element that people need to implement in their strategy. How to get some traffic. How to once you get the traffic, to realize that it's not just the traffic, but also how do you transform people visiting your website, your visiting your website, your social media page. How do you help them to become actually paying clients? Then once they become paying client, what needs to be done in order for them to actually remain a paying client, instead of having to chase all the time like a new client, and how you can develop some kind of a community. That was the first program that I was running. And even if I spent years and years, and that experience helped me to break down things in a way that people can understand that. I think that's something that I'm quite good at. That was still really, really ambitious. And that first group, I remember, were really, really committed. Really great people, really committed. And I made them work quite a lot, in a way, more than I was expecting, but I was giving them support. But after that first training, what I realized is that the training was quite ambitious, so I transformed the training. It took me 4 months, in a way, 4 or 5 months, just to have that first training running quite really efficiently. But even when I get to the final products, I actually realized that it was still quite ambitious for a lot of people. So I've decided to actually create like an introduction program. And now people can only join the first program that I created when they've gone through the first the program that I created later. So any kind of challenges of your participant, your client, gives you a business opportunity. And that business opportunity is not a way to make more money from your client. No, it's really, for me, the way I take it is the way to help the client to achieve the goals that that they want to achieve. Okay, so yeah, so I think there's something there that is often misunderstood. Not to just focus on one service, but really one service and every other service you are able to offer that will help your client to literally reach the goal that they told you that they wanted to reach. So that's something that I definitely wanted to share, that kind of a mindset. And this is how you see some businesses growing exponentially. And when you look at it, they literally get a sales funnel. If you have heard that word, it means that they offer a service. But after that, what they do is that they understand that by every service that you offer, every solution that you offer, that you provide, in a way creates a new problem for the client. And that's why you see a simple example in a completely different area. When you buy some new shoes, at least when you had the opportunity to go in a shop to buy new shoes, what will happen? You buy some shoes, but they will later on the counter, they will actually offer you maybe like a new laces, or they will offer you to have like a product to keep the color of the shoes. So you want some shoes because you want to be able to look good and to walk comfortably. But because you have solved that issue, in a way, there's a new issue. It's like taking care of the shoes so you can keep them for a longer time. If you just focus on the service of selling the shoes, obviously your client is lost. Now, if you focus on the other issue that will be created once they've sold that first one, this is where you're going to see the other business opportunities. The laces, the product to keep the color. That's the same thing with a lot of industry. And what is quite funny is that you end up actually sometimes making more income, generating more income from those services that you are selling afterwards. So that's something that I will definitely recommend you to consider. So once again, the idea for me is really to carry on adding as much value as possible. I'm working to make those LinkedIn Live once a week. There's quite a lot of things that I'm working on, but one of them is really to have once a week, but to have like also some guests. So and to create it like more like a show. It's gonna be quite different, but that I'm working on that. I'm also doing still the training on the platforms. My favorite platform, I'll let you guess which one it is. That's a 4 weeks training. That's a 4-week training, but quite intensive. I say quite intensive because what I don't want people to think is that's a silver bullet. No, I think that this platform is really powerful. There's no doubt about that. It's very powerful. It's easier than you think it is, than most people think it is. It's certainly much easier, but you still need to have a strategy, a formula that I'm really happy to share with you after having spent like months and months of trial and error, but just focusing. And obviously, as you focus on something, you start to discover like, so you get some insight. So I'm quite okay with the information that I'm sharing with you for sure. So let me see comment. Hey, Onela, how are you, Onela? missing you on Ella. So, guys, I hope that you have connected with Onera. If you know anything about content marketing, you know that she's really good at what she does. Okay, so content with Onera. I hope that you're okay, Onera. So where was I? So yeah, so those training, I don't want people to think that's like a silver bullet, because it's not. There's definitely some work to be put on your side. So the way I see it is that I would say I'm a facilitator, and I'm going to give you as much information as I can. I'm going to support you as much as I can, but yeah, there's going to be some work to do on your side. Okay, and the first thing, for example, is to you to define your outcome, and that's really interesting because in the training that I'm offering, obviously there's like the strategy based on the platform, okay, with I know the algorithm to some extent, but what you might be surprised here to find out is that a lot of the explanation that I'm giving is really about communication psychology. My expertise, if I can talk about expertise, I want to blush when I use that word, but it's been communication. Okay, that's something I've been studying for like 20, 25 years. And actually, a lot of the information that I'm sharing are really about it's really about communication psychology. And when you understand that those principles of communication, you know, the platform is just the media. The good thing with that training is that you can understand those principles and later be still efficient with on another platform. But as you can understand, there's going to be quite a lot of information. So yeah, there's not a silver bullet. There's still some work to be put on your side. But I'm really there to support you. So guys, if you want to have more information about that training, please contact me. Send me like a message, and I will give you more details. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to see you next week, Thursday, and also I'm working on that, but we might have to. There's going to be maybe more than one live, because I also want to reach out to French speaking people. Okay, so anyway, speak to you really soon. Okay, in the time being, thank you for your support. If you see my posts, feel free to share them, to like, to comment. If there's anything that you want me to talk about when it comes to marketing, sales, LinkedIn, and communication in general, please leave me a message, and I will integrate those insights in my next live. Okay, see you guys. Bye bye. Bye.